All right, bro. So basically, I wasted over $7,000 chasing the perfect business, and here's what I wish I knew at 23. I started a clothing brand back in actually it was July around this time of last year, and I thought that's what I really wanted to do because I seen a whole bunch of creators making clothes and designs and pieces that the athletes were wearing that everybody really wanted to purchase. So I figured that okay, I wanted to combine creative expression with my idea of where I thought I wanted to be in business. And that's why I did the clothing brand. But I realized like I felt as if I was starting over every month, every drop, comparing myself, comparing my product to somebody else's product, putting my prices on the shirts that I was selling based on what somebody else had their shirts at. Um, and that's just one of the businesses that I did. Airbnb, I wanted to take a crack at that. I paid $2,000 for a inner circle membership, and I knew that my credit had to be at a certain number. It had to be at a certain, um, I guess, caliber for like the profile in order to get funding. But um, I thought that getting my credit was going to take too long, and the fact that I already spent $2,000 on the Airbnb inner circle would just push me back a lot further. So I never took action on the Airbnb business, which is crazy to say, even though I already spent $2,000 on it on the inner circle. Wholesaling, I had paid the first time I got into wholesaling. I paid somebody $500 a month just to learn, but he wasn't a good mentor at all, and I don't even think he was making the money that he claimed to be making. The second time around, when I gave wholesaling a try again, was I'm not gonna put his name out there, but it's a wholesaler in my city. He makes a lot of money. He has like two or three cars that I would actually want one day. And I figured that since he's around my age, we're the same ethnicity and all of that, he would be a great mentor. Not the case. It was actually very deceptive. And when I signed up for the mentorship program, it was through credit, right? And it was through Klarna. And I'm still making payments on it today. It's about 177 a month, which is like crazy for something that I'm not using. But the overall cost of the program was about maybe $4,000, maybe 4,500 total. So um yeah, so I'm not doing wholesaling anymore. Credit education. There was and there still is this dude on Instagram. He goes by Herman Doyce, I believe, but he runs his business, credit repair, getting credit funding, and I said credit funding, business funding, and things like that. So that's pretty cool. But he had a Sloan. I believe that's his daughter's name, Bella Sloan. He actually named the business after his daughter so she can get um you know I some type of tax advantage for that. But anyway, wanted to do that. I paid about 100, maybe 100 to $150 to get into the program, to not even use it because at this point I'm bouncing around. And that was December 1st. By the end of December, I was interested in getting into real estate investing, but um I'm gonna name his name, but Will Roundtree. He seemed like he was a good mentor, but his style of teaching and the way he was teaching and the way he was holding his communities, it didn't align with me. It's not like anything was inherently wrong. It just seemed like outdated and slow, and I was just double double guessing. Like, damn, is this really for me? Like, is this traditional way of allocating my money for me? And I had spent $1,000 just to get in the program, right? But the program itself was $5,000, but I only paid $1,000, and they were gonna have me on a payment schedule. But that's not like something I was putting on credit. But I say all of that to say, none of those were necessarily the problem. The problem was I kept chasing games before I got good at one. And the real secret is choosing the right field of competition based on what you naturally gravitate towards, along with your personality, your environment, and your strengths. So I finally realized I wasn't losing because I picked bad opportunities. I was losing because I never stayed in one long enough to become dangerous, long enough to become cold, long enough to master one of them. So if you can't find a lane that favors you, create one, because your genes, your environment, and your natural abilities, and even your experiences do not eliminate the need for hard work. They just give you clarity on what to double down on. They give you clarity on what you need to work hard on. So I'm done chasing business models. Right now, I'm just building skills like sales, content, communication, and capital allocation. So those skills can develop over time, over the next 3 to 7, even 10 plus years, because those skills transfer anywhere. So if you're still watching today, I invite you to stop switching business models, right? Stop switching between women, stop switching between ideas, stop switching between mindsets, routines, all of that. Pick one, pick one game that favors your strengths and get enough reps to become dangerous. That's much more valuable than 10 ways to get rich. That's way more valuable than 10 ways to get rich tactics on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, whatever platform that is. So just stick to one, bro. Stick to one, master it, and make sure that it aligns with, for one, who you're trying to become, and most definitely the trajectory that you're going. Don't make the same mistake that I did, wasting over $7,000. And that's just like half of it. That was just within the last year. That's why I'm stacking the 10K again. And now I'm putting my money where it needs to go. I'm focusing on the strengths and the unfair advantages that I already have, so I don't make the same mistakes twice.